Miss Allison.
That's Miss Allison.
Miss Allison.
Miss Allison. Miss Allison is a big supporter in my life. She's really great with encouraging people of any age. It's great.
I think I'm gonna have to make a standalone video about Miss Allison, it sounds like.
Many public libraries have a dedicated teen program that will offer fun events that are specifically geared for local teenagers. As I talked to patrons of the Fairhope Public Library, it was obvious that their teen program is hugely important to the young people of Fairhope, providing a safe and encouraging environment for students to explore interests and figure out who they are during those most uncertain and unsteady years of young adulthood. One example is Isabella Emerald, a professional young artist who found friendship and confidence thanks to the Fairhope Library's teen program and its teen librarian, Allison Russell.
A bit after COVID, I was kind of isolated because I lost a lot of my friends. We just drifted apart, and my mom found out about library programs just going on their website, and I started attending them. I met a lot of my now closest friends via the teen programs and just going to the library, and that's really important to me. We all hang out consistently even when we're busy, and the library specifically is a spot we hang out the most because a lot of us go here anyway.
What specific programs got you hooked on coming to library events?
Maker Mondays, that really got me because I've always enjoyed crafting and anything just artistic that I could get my hands on, and doing that with a group of peers is really fun to do. It's a great space to meet like-minded individuals and find people with similar interests as you.
Another local teen who loves the Fairhope Library is Jubilee Pryor. The teen program has helped her blossom in her love of reading and in her own writing projects.
So when I was little and first coming here, I always saw the teen volunteers, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. They work at the library. I want to do that, because I loved books even since then. And I would always ask Miss Allison, can I just join the teen program the 1 year early? I went to a 3D printing thing a few years ago. That was my first actual teen program thing, which was so fun. It's just always been such a special place for kids who like books and like to be creative and stuff like that. For NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month in November, I would always have a fun project to do, and it was so exciting because November felt like it was fall, it was cozy, and it was the month for writers. And so we'd go in the place where they do story hour, and then we all get in a circle and we get writing prompts, and it was so fun to be around other creatives.
The common denominator for these stories is Allison Russell, Fairhope's teen services librarian. Isabella volunteers now in the teen department, and she says that it was Miss Allison who saw her leadership potential and helped her develop it.
Yes, Miss Allison has really encouraged me into a leadership role, especially with younger volunteers here, by giving me more opportunities and responsibilities, and I've enjoyed that a lot. She's really good with teenagers. Definitely grew more confident just with talking to people, because like I said, when I was younger, I was I've always been pretty confident, but there was something that made me kind of shy and anxious about stuff. So being here really helped, because I realized I could just be myself and people would enjoy me.
For Jubilee and her mom, Jada, they're blown away by Miss Allison's capacity for both empathy and knowledge. They say she goes above and beyond to make every teen feel included and to encourage their individual interests.
She is like a family member to us now. She's almost like an aunt. She knows the kids. She remembers kids' interests, what they're excited about. She starts clubs for them. So much of the magic of the library is Allison's magic.
She's always been super, hands-on with all the teens, and I don't know how she does it, because there are so many people who go to her for these ideas and these projects, but she still always makes time to specifically help each teenager with what they're passionate about. Or I remember one time I was writing something and it was about the Bronte sisters, and she was like, oh my gosh, I love them. And she took me to the adult section. She gave me all these books about the Bronte sisters, and specifically, she's I know you're gonna like this one specifically. That would inform me about it. and I thought that was so cool, and it was really special.
She remembers things about them that are so unique to them, and like Jubilee said, I don't know how she does that, because every teen that she's involved with, she's like that with.
There's a coding club, I'm pretty sure, and there's like a gaming thing. Like, there are always things like, while I like to like create and like write and stuff like that, there are things for kids who like, you know, like to do 3D printing stuff and gaming and coding. And I always thought that was cool, because even if, you know, it's not like you're specifically interested in literature or writing, which is usually a place for a library, they know how to like make that involved in what you're interested in.
For Allison's part, she downplays this extraordinary ability to encourage and even create special programs for every teen. It's just a part of who she is.
Yeah.
And Allison, Jada mentioned that you know every kid's interests. And
Yes, the kid said that too.
I just know some of them.
Juby's like, you can't come up with something she doesn't know a little bit about. She said she taught me about the Bronte sisters.
I do know
but
a
she
lot
also
of weird stuff.
knows about Pokemon. Like, yes, she does. She
I
knows.
have wide interests.
But you also will learn people's interests and remember them
Well,
and
it's
like
interesting.
figure that out.
So, you know.
I just ask her advice about everything. I've probably crossed the line. Like,
Also middle-aged, so I've seen some things.
I'm like, Allison, I don't know, man. Yeah. Like, tell me what to do. Show me a book or something.
but how do you see, Allison, how the library helps local teens?
Well, mainly there's a community. What I like is when we get kids from different schools here, and then they make friends. That's something that's really
Based on their interests.
based on the interest, right?
One of the biggest ways that Miss Allison has catered to the teens' interests is by creating a theater program. A few years ago, Jubilee wrote a stage adaptation of Little Women, and the library helped her cast and produce her show. The project has continued, and now students from multiple local schools work together to put on plays at the library.
Fairhope High doesn't have a drama program right now, right this second. So we had the kids from the virtual school, the Pelican Players. They came up here with some of the kids who had been in the drama club at the high school. So those guys got together, and we did a whole production over the summer. In fact, here's Captain Pete. So yeah. They made up a story. We wrote a script together. I have a friend who is she was a theater manager, and so she directed them. And we had a production. We did a play. We did a whole thing, and it was fun. And you guys y'all were from at least 3 different schools, I think.
Yes.
The teen program has been so impactful that the library recently completed a renovation for a whole new teen department with much more space than the smaller teen area they had before.
It's like the old one was like, it was so cozy that still, it was just smaller. And this one I think has more spaces for all the different resources and like for specific things like different types of teenagers like. It's so cool and like big and fancy.
The new teen space is also more separate from the main library. Katie Anderton, who is a staff member in the teen department, says this change makes teens feel more comfortable to be themselves.
Teens particularly, before we had a space, I was told that they kind of felt like they didn't belong here, like they felt like they got weird looks and they couldn't be themselves in the library. So up here it's like they can be a little louder, they can do fun events that don't feel like, oh, I'm being watched. So I think they seem a lot more comfortable up here. The teens themselves are hilarious. Just I have very young siblings, and so getting to see the same characteristics in other people is hilarious to me. And then just the coworkers here are super awesome. They're all understanding and funny and not, I feel like some of them are weirder than I am, so I feel like I fit in really well.
Miss Allison and her staff invest their time and energy into the lives of these young teens. And in doing so, they're teaching a generation of young people to lift up those coming up behind them. Isabella is 19 now, and she follows in Allison's footsteps by making sure younger teens and kids at the library feel just as accepted as she did.
And the library has a lot of younger kids trying to do what I was trying to do. So it's nice to be like, I was like you once.
Do you spot specific kids sometimes and think, I know what you're going through right now?
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, I know, I get it, trust me. And those kids are always, they're the most sweetest, most creative kids you'll meet. They're just a little quiet, and then you start talking about something they like, and they're like, they really get into it and they open up. It's great. There was a girl who came in. She was very young. She was at least 8 years old, and her mom was asking if there was a place she could go study, if she could just study in the children's room. And we were like, well, you could have a study room. And she was like, what do you think about that? Do you want a study room? And the girl went, yeah, I'll just take a study room. And she was so happy about that. I think she just thought she was so cool that she got to have a study room. And she probably went to school the next day and she was like, yeah, I just took out a study room. I really care about my homework. Yeah, it's no big deal. And I think having opportunities like that, especially that encourage children to learn, is really important, and to get excited about learning new things. I mean, the library is a safe space, a great place for teenagers and tweens and young adults to express themselves and be themselves. It's a really great space for community. We have a bigger support system for teenagers and events for young kids and stuff more than most libraries, and that's because of the funding we've received from the people of the city of Fairhope and the people here. And I think we have a group of people in Fairhope who really cherish and love the library, so I really love that.